How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks. We focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And in today's video, we're going to be going over Lucid and as well as for SOFI. We saw a lot of weakness in the market today, so we wanted to see what these stocks look like going into tomorrow. Let's start off with Lucid. So we ended up closing at $16.10, being down 3.88%. On the low, we tested $16.03, and then on the high, testing $16.77. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 15.226 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 16.027 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we also had a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, the first thing to bring to your attention, we are trading below all of our major moving averages, which is the 9 EMA to 21 EMA and as well as the 50 EMA, and we also see a continuation of lower lows and as well as lower highs that has been going on for the past 4 trading days for Lucid. So what you can see outlined on my chart, you can see from the horizontal lines, if we continue to have a pullback, we could see Lucid testing $5.30. So this is a level you're going to watch closely because we ended up seeing a low on the day at $16.03. So if $16 breaks, that's where we could see Lucid getting down to $15.30. If it ends up breaking through $15.30, we also do know that the 52-week low is at $13.25. Am I saying that it's going to hit the $13.25 this week? Absolutely not. But as far as knowing your levels, I'll be watching that one very closely, especially as this week progresses. If you want to see a turnaround inside of the play, we ended up seeing a high at $16.77. So we want to see Lucid getting back to $17. And if it is able to do that, then you want to see if it could reclaim the 9 EMA at $17.75. This would be a lot to ask overall on the week, but if we see strength inside of these markets, it's very possible for Lucid to be able to pull this off. And if it can gain that momentum, of course, we want to see strength of it holding support above the 50 EMA, which is around $18.73, but I much rather want to see it hold up $19. But as far as this week is concerned and as it progresses, Lucid is looking weak. We can't deny that fact, so let's see what it does going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings we have here for the 22nd, we have Eaton Vance Tax Managed by Right Opportunities Fund that purchased 75,885 shares. We also have Eaton Vance Tax Advantage Bond and Option Strategies Fund that purchased 7,218 shares. And for the 19th, we have Voya Russell ITM Mid Cap Index Portfolio Class ADV that purchased 70,130 shares. We also have Voya Russell ITM Mid Cap Growth Index Portfolio Class 1 that purchased 145,862 shares. And we have Forethought Variable Insurance Trust that purchased 11,251 shares. And we have Advanced Series Trust AST Prudential Growth Allocation Portfolio that purchased 105 shares. And for the 18th, we have New Millennium Group LLC that purchased 245 shares. So we see some institutions loading up. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 78.16%. And then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 7.81 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.1 million, updated 24 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 8.73%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 18th, it was at 64.94. And then for the close of the 19th, being at 78.16. So that is a significant increase right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 21.02%, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that pretty much sums up the portion we have for Lucid, but I must say as of late we've been having some solid catalysts coming through. We have Ray Dalio that made a significant investment. Plus, on top of that, we hear about Lucid that's going to be releasing a Sapphire model. So just hearing these things and knowing that the stock is pulling back shouldn't be surprising whatsoever considering the overall market conditions. So this can open up an opportunity for anyone that's looking to do some more research and think about taking a position. And of course, watch the chart analysis portions of the video so you can have a good idea of where the stock price could potentially go as this week progresses. Let's move on to SOFI. So we're going to take a look at the chart for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.10, being down 3.63%. On the low, it tested $6.01, and then on the high, testing $6.33. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 41.541 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 49.706 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we saw a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we are seeing a strong amount of weakness in SOFI at the moment. Not only are we trading below all of our major moving averages, but you see the continuation of lower lows and as well as lower highs, and this has been going on for 5 trading days. So we ended up seeing a low at 601. We did fill the gap, which I talked about in my previous video. So the next level SOFI will go to is $6 right on the dot, and as far as for the bottom range, I'd keep an eye on $5.75. The reason why you want to watch $5.75, this could be an area where we could have some bulls wanting to step in. If they do not step in, that's where we could see SOFI wanting to get down to $5.15. So I'd be watching that level very closely. If you're looking for a turnaround, you want to see some sort of reversal. We saw a high at $6.33. So you'd want to see if it can at least get back to the 50 EMA, which is at $6.85. If it ends up getting to this level and gets rejected, of course, we'll see some more downside pressure. But if it's able to get above it, and then we have that 50 EMA curling back above the 9 EMA and as well as the 21, then that is definitely bullish, and we could see SOFI wanting to go to $7. But in my personal opinion, and as far as how this week is looking, I can just see that selling pressure continue. So let's see if we can get a bounce off of $5.75. But if we don't get that, at least you know what it looks like if it decides to sell off even further. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings we have here for the 20th, we have Exodus Point Capital Management LP that closed out their position. We also have for the 19th, we have Voya Russell ITM Mid Cap Index Portfolio Class ADV that purchased 104,873 shares, and we have Advanced Series Trust that purchased 8,035 shares. And the other positions we have already covered. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 42.12%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 9.08 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated just now, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.14%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 18th, it was at 43.58, and then for the close of the 19th, being at 42.12. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 16.66%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that pretty much sums up the video for you guys. As far as the pullback, like I was talking about when I was concluding the Lucid portion of the video, it is not surprising. We had a strong gap down inside of the pre-market today, and the selling pressure just continued during regular trading hours. So it's natural for these growth stocks to pull back. We'll have to see how this week progresses and what the direction actually looks like, but when we went over those charts, at least you know the levels that you want to look up for, especially if you are an investor and you're thinking about taking a position. You want to be making sure that you can get in with a good average cost, but don't go into these plays until you do your due diligence and your homework. This is very essential because we can continue to have a pullback, but if you're confident in your position, then you will not have any concerns about it whatsoever. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, and if you found a lot of value in this video, make sure that you hit the like button. I'll be talking to you guys real soon, and let's see what the market gives us going into tomorrow.